If you're in year 11 or 12, it's likely you've spent a lot of time thinking about four little letters: ATAR.
It's a university ranking tool. I think it's the only one I know in the world that gives a single score.
Says Professor Peter Shergold, Chancellor of Western Sydney University and former Secretary of the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet. ATAR, or the Australian Tertiary Admissions Rank, is calculated by adding up the scaled scores from each student's 10 best units, each worth a maximum 50 points. These scores out of 500 are then ranked across all students in the state, and they're assigned an ATAR from 0 to 99.95. These scores tell students where they sit compared to others. An ATAR of 50 is right in the middle. 80 is in the top 20%. 65 is better than 65% of other students, and so on. Universities then use the ATAR to determine eligibility for different courses, with degrees like law, medicine or accounting generally requiring higher ATARs. But Professor Shergold is concerned, saying there are downsides to the emphasis on ATAR in schools.
When students at school are about 15, year 10, quite unnecessarily, it starts to divide them. Are you going to go to university or are you going to go into a trade and vocational education? You don't need to do that.
Putting this pressure on young students to attain one high score can also influence their choices in school. Professor Shergold theorises that this may even lead to young students limiting themselves in their studies.
If you go onto Dr. Google and look at ATAR, you'll find all these sites telling you how to game the system, often suggesting you don't do advanced level subjects because you may get a lower ATAR.
But is this really what we want? Do we want young people designing their studies around boosting their score? Professor Shergold says no.
What do we want from people when they're getting educated? You want them to get excited about something, to follow their passion.